Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm down here at hive number 2. If you haven't caught the introduction video for this inspection period, which is the 9th inspection of the year, please check it out. I explain a lot, mainly why I've been pretty absent for the last few months. Short version to that question, if you have it, mainly just due to work, kind of like usual, unfortunately. So again, I'm down here at hive number 2. I just finished inspecting what was hive number 7. Unfortunately, there's no way to determine what happened to that hive. It definitely died. It was a dead out, and the wax moths moved in and took over. And if you can see that or not, that is the remnants of bees, brood, food sources, whole bunch of stuff, wax that was on the bottom board that I just scraped off. So I'm down here at number 2. Like I said, I have higher hopes for number 2 than number 7 because the front entrance does have some activity. Maybe not any more or less than number 1 down the way. The hive in the second position, number 6, looked a little better, at least from the front entrance, but not really that great. Same thing with number 1. Check out those inspection videos, and then so from the 9th inspection this year, and then if you look at the last sequence or series of inspections, the 8th inspection, do a quick comparison how number 1, number 6, 7, and soon to find out how number 2 compares to the last series of inspections that took place around mid-July. Huge difference from what I can remember, and I watched a few of the videos just to do a recap what took place 2.5 months ago. Number 1, number 6 for sure. I know it recently swarmed. Number 6's genetics have been less desirable, to say the least. A very aggressive hive, but a whole lot less bees this time of year, which is kind of expected. It's October 2nd, so we're into the fall, early fall, even though it's low 70s, probably 75 degrees now, probably about 12:30, close to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But the thing with number 6, given the rain that we've been having, this has been a problem for a while. I usually put some tape on it. You can see the bees have pretty much built up some propolis to try and seal that out, but I don't know, just something that caught my eye that I may have to intervene and try to help out the colony by sealing it up or doing something. But let me give them some smoke, because I haven't done that yet. I'll pop the top, give them some smoke as well. I think I need to top off my smoker so it lasts the rest of the inspection. That's a good sign. We got bees in the top box, so that's always nice. I have absolutely no idea what the genetics are of the current bees, whether it's this hive or the remaining potentially 2 hives that have survived the 2.5 month break. I actually have more fuel in here than I thought, but yeah, no idea what the genetics are. Hopefully they're somewhat pleasant, but you never know. And I can already hear them. Let me make sure everything's closed up. I'm going to give them a little more smoke. Hopefully this comes up on camera, but can you hear this? I think the smoke definitely riled them up some. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But nonetheless, I definitely need to get into them, because it's been a while. And again, I've said this in a few videos, I don't have a queen excluder on, so I have to remind myself to check the inside of the lids, because I've only found a queen one time clinging to the inside of a lid. But like they say, if you find something once, there's a chance you might find it again. Alright, so this is somewhat promising, and I'll explain what I mean here in a second. So unlike the other colonies that I had a top box. They all have top boxes, by the way. As you can see, 1, 6, 7 did, but it died. They all have top boxes on. And this is, looks like a medium box. Could be a shallow. But unlike the other boxes, there's more activity in this top box. So far, just based off that, they're looking a little better than the other colonies that I inspected. And damn, I actually have a small patch of capped honey up here, so that's cool. Set that there. Let me make sure the angle is good so y'all can see what I'm looking at. The spacing on these two frames is kind of weird. It's because one of the bars broke off, and that actually has some weight to it. Alright, well, damn, this hive might actually be doing okay. I really don't want to say that this early, even though I just did, because it is really early to make a call like that, but if anything, they actually have some kind of food store. What would be very nice to see is if the queen has moved up into this top box and actually start laying some brood. So this was used as a brood frame before, and this is a shallow box. But yeah, this was used as a brood's nest before. You can tell by the darker comb. If people have mediums or shallows or even deeps where the comb is not dark at all, it's like that really, kind of like this next one, really nice light color. Brood was never raised or never reared. And there's an unmarked queen right there. All right, she's nice looking too, and moving really slow. Let me try my hand here. It's been a while. Definitely don't want to kill her. That would be bad. Is she in here? Yes. Alright. So there's hive number 2's queen. Unmarked. So let me do a few things real quick. Let me first find my flashlight so I can check for eggs. Because to find the queen up here and not find eggs, not unusual, but you know, kind of, it'd be weird. And if you can tell, this is that more natural wax foundation, and I can't see eggs in that thing at all. Alright, so next order of business, and I'm telling myself to be extremely careful doing this, because it is not the time of year to have any accidents regarding marking a queen, because it's just not the time of year for hives to try to become queen right. Come on, turn around. You just gotta be patient at this point. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. Look at that, beautiful. Let's give her a few white dots for 2020, as long as she stops moving. Get out of here, worker bee. Look at that. Nice marked queen for hive number 2. I slide the plunger down, give her some space to move around, and I'll leave her in there for the rest of the inspection. So one, I know where she's at. I can move a little more aggressively between the frames because I don't have to worry about squishing her. And 2, it gives her time to dry off. Not sure if I said that already, but if I did, now you heard it twice. Yeah, they're actually doing a nice job of having food stores, which is exactly why I add a medium box directly after or soon after our honey harvest. So these medium boxes have been on for about 3 months now, and they probably had more food in here at some point, but because I haven't fed them at all, whether it's in the hive with the division board feeders, I haven't even open fed any of the colonies this year. They have most likely used some of these food stores to make it through the DERF, through the summer, which is exactly one, that's one of the reasons I add them, and two, I add them so if they don't use all that food to get through the summer into the fall, whatever's left over, they'll have available for the winter. So as you can see, number 2 is, look at that. Number 2 is doing an excellent job storing honey. And in fact, I'm going to take a quick break because I would like to take a picture of that. And I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while because this might be my last chance to do this, but I just want to show y'all, if you don't believe me, that honey, truly, straight out of the hive, hive to table, that whole term is not just a gimmick, but you can in fact eat honey. Look at this. Straight out of the hive. God, that is delicious. Look at this. Wax and all. Again, not a gimmick. 100% fact. Straight out of the hive. Hive to table. Not just an advertising thing. Because when we extract our honey, if you haven't watched those videos, they're pretty cool. But more importantly, the honey's not pasteurized. It's straight out of the hive. All I do is uncap the cells so the honey can actually come out. Spin them in what's called an extractor. It's kind of like a centrifuge, and it just uses force and gravity, slings the honey to the inside of the stainless steel container. It runs down to the bottom. I open a valve. The honey comes out of the valve. I run it through a 400 micron filter, which filters out all the nasty bee parts that you don't want in a jar of honey, legs, wings, stuff like that. But what that filter does is it helps retain all the pollen, because the pollen, it's been proven the pollen will pass through a 400 micron filter. All right, let me get through the bottom box. I know they're queen right. I already know that, but I still want to look. And here's a quick look. That's definitely what I want to see out of the rest of the colonies. 1 in 6 are not like this if you watch those videos. There's a significantly, visibly fewer bees, which is concerning. I'm in the process of creating a get well plan for them, but for now, you know, they just have to kind of make do with how things are going. So I already found the queen. I'm not really looking for her. I'm just looking over each frame, as you'll see rather quickly, just to see if anything out of the ordinary is, you know, kind of apparent. So good food stores on this. I can see a lot of nectar. It just looks like a shiny substance in the cells. I'm really curious to see what the brood population or the brood frames look like. Kind of want to see some more brood, which it's not looking bad. I mean, I have to keep in mind the time of year as well. So it's the fall. After the summer solstice, the queens tend to start slowing down with the amount of eggs they lay, or the amount of eggs they lay per day. The winter solstice, believe it or not, is when they actually start increasing their egg laying, because the winter solstice happens right around Christmas, late December, and the whole idea is by the time that brood hatches, and then the next cycle of brood hatches, it's springtime. So the bees actually start building up for spring right before the new year, while it's still winter, which is also why it's good to have adequate food stores over winter. It's not just for the bees that are currently alive and occupying the hive, it's for the next several cycles of bees that haven't hatched yet. All right, I've seen enough. Let me slide all these frames back in place. Good stuff. Hive number 2 is doing great. That honey's delicious. This actually has some weight to it as well. And let me make sure everything is square. Let me release the queen, show you all that, because that's pretty cool. At least from one man's perspective. All right, here we go. Hive number 2's queen. She'll come out here in a second. Where's she at? She's in there. All right. Anytime now. Sometimes you gotta be patient. One of the bees went in there to say, hey, it's time to go. Alright, here she goes, newly marked. Hive number 2's queen. Not sure when she hatched. Not sure when the previous queen swarmed, but nonetheless, they have a new queen and she's marked. Pretty nice size to her, not the biggest, but I think she'll do for now. Alright, she's down in there. Let me get the lids back on. Talk about a few things and call it a day. Alright, so again, that was hive number 2, right? Hey, that's refreshing. So out of the 3 hives I've inspected this morning, hive number 2 absolutely looks the strongest. So they're actually using the top box for what I wanted the bees to use them for. Expand the brood chamber, create some food stores, and they're doing that. Hives 1 and 6, if you haven't caught those videos, they are not doing that. And I am concerned for them, which is why I have a plan for the winter and then moving activities into next year. So hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have not subscribed, please do so. We appreciate everybody that has. I think we are at 1,012 subscribers as of this morning. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of our future subscribers. Just so we're all on the same page, everybody that hits the subscribe button, I take it as you saying thank you to me and my family for doing what we do, for supporting, well, for showing us support for the videos that we share. So again, we're an active duty owned, family operated honeybee hobby farm in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Our property's in the southwest corner of the county. And if you're looking for any local honey, we actually have some for sale, and it tastes just as delicious as the honey y'all saw me taste directly from the hive. And like I said, during that time, it is not a gimmick, hive to table, 100% true statement. Explained our extraction process, or our honey harvesting process. I have videos from the past few years in a playlist, I think, from titled Honey Harvest. Check those out, pretty interesting. If you don't know how honey is harvested, I try to do a good job of explaining the process. Nothing complicated, but just something people are probably not aware of. But yeah, so you can actually eat the honey straight out of the hive. There's really no difference between the honey in the hive versus what's in our bottled, I'm sorry, it's a huge wasp, from the honey that's in our bottles, other than it just goes through a 400 micron filter to filter out any bee parts that may have been, you know, captured in the process. So yeah, we're on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the top right banner on our YouTube homepage. You can just click on them, it takes you over to our pages. Like and follow those, please. And if you're interested in purchasing any honey on Instagram and Facebook, there's a book now button. You click on it, it takes you over to our square page. From there, you just pick a day and a time that works for you. We sell our honey by appointments only. We make ourselves available 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to accommodate most people's schedules. You can book up to a week in advance. You pay through the site, and from there we make arrangement very easy. Obviously you have an appointment time, but we'll communicate when your jar is left on our front porch. And we've been doing that for quite a while, for the last year or two, due to COVID-19, as we continue to do our part with social distancing, because we do have 2 small children that, as parents, it's our job to keep them safe. And by keeping our distance from folks, even though we appreciate interacting with all of our customers, that's just us doing our part to keep our children safe. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit subscribe. And if I did not say so, this is the last inspection, this is the last inspection video for 2021. So this is my 9th inspection for the year and my final. So with that being said, happy holidays, happy New Year's to everybody in advance, and I will see y'all sometime in 2022. Thanks for the support. Again, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. See y'all next year.